everybody. Today's topic of discussion is computation of the force of friction. Given a situation, how much will be the force of friction available at that location? So if this is the question, not many times will be solved. Then we see that books are recommending us a formula, expression. Says that the frictional force will be equal to F into R, mu F equal to mu into R. So that formula we are now having as a single formula, we use it and we compute the frictional force, so simple matter. But we never wonder whether this formula is applicable unconditionally or there are some particular restrictions. Is this expression F equal to mu into R universally applicable? My answer is no. Means there are some situations where the formula is applicable, but there are some situations where the formula is not applicable, and if I unknowingly or forcefully apply the formula and try to get a result, my result is not at all convincing result, my result is a wrong result, my result sometimes is a funny result. Let us see that part. Imagine we are talking about a rectangular block available with a weight 100 newtons on a rough surface where the frictional coefficient is 0.3, and I am trying to push the block with a force P, and that will be creating a motion or trying to create a motion in this direction. Let us imagine that our force P is equal to 10 newtons. And now let us raise this question. What is the frictional force under the box? Then what we will do? We will write down some support reaction here immediately. We will think that the support reaction will be nullifying the weight, so it will be equal to 100 newtons. When the motion is to the right, likely motion is to the right, the frictional force will be opposing the motion is to the left at the contacting surface. I will mark it F. And perhaps if I ignore this particular part, I will be tempted to immediately call for the formula saying that F is equal to mu into R, or F is equal to 0.3 into 100, or F is equal to 30 newtons. And I feel that I have solved the question. So simple. Formula is available, I have applied the formula. But now look at the result. The frictional force I have calculated is 30 newtons. My applied force is hardly 10 newtons. Who is stronger out of the two? Frictional force. The force trying to push the block to the right is 10 newtons. The force trying to move the block to the left is 30 newtons. Then why the hell this block will not move to the left? And I understand every time my frictional force will be trying to oppose the motion, but now I am seeing the frictional force is trying to create the motion. Both the statements are wrong. This block will never have a tendency to move on the left. And my frictional force equal to 30 newtons, which I have wrongly calculated, will not be able to create any motion. Never. It means that this is the place where I applied a formula at a wrong location. I have crossed some conditions and I have applied a formula at some wrong locations. Then we have got to know which are the conditions, which are the situations where we are allowed to use the formula. And very important, which are the situations where we are not allowed to use this formula if equal to mu into R. Okay, now let us talk about that separately. For that, my plan is to vary this force. And when the force will be varying, the tendency of motion will remain as it is. Perhaps I will not be able to write down F equal to mu into R. I will wait for what is the value of F available here. But anyway, R will remain to be equal to 100 newtons. Let us plot down some expected results. This force P is given a chance to grow. Versus, I am going to be writing down here, what is the response of this object? And then perhaps seeing the response, I will be able to write some conditions, I will be able to write down some guidelines, even I will be able to provide here some method where the formula is not applicable but I can find out a frictional force. Here we will start with. Imagine to start with P is equal to 0. No force available at all. Everybody can say the box will be in a static condition. Even there will not be any tendency of motion also. box is in a static condition. Then I grow the force. Let us say to 5. I find my box still in static condition. I grow my applied force to, let us say, 10. Direction remaining the same. Point of application remaining the same. Tendency of motion remaining same. Still I find nothing is happening. Then my force is 20. Still nothing will be happening. My force is 29. Still perhaps nothing is happening. When the force reaches a value of 30 newtons, I observe this block starts moving. Block starts moving, response changes. Okay, further, I grow the force, applied force to 40, 50, 60, 70, etc., etc. Now I am seeing the response that the block accelerates. It goes in a dynamic condition, and not only dynamic condition, it accelerates. Now I can see 3 responses. This group is having a response of static condition. This group is having a response of dynamic condition, and is the borderline, starts moving. Then I'll say this is the limiting condition. I may say this is the beyond limiting condition. And all earlier ones, I'll say they are under limiting conditions or below limiting conditions. Condition, responses. And now I am having a guideline. Is the expression F equal to mu to R universally applicable? No. Then when it is applicable, when it is not applicable. Then I may say F equal to mu into R is applicable in this condition, applicable even in this condition, which are the limiting condition and beyond limiting condition. But in the below limiting condition, under limiting condition, F is not allowed to be mu into R. So I was raising an exception, and this is the exceptional condition, under limiting conditions. The applied force has not grown to a sufficient value so that the motion can be created. It is a little lesser force, still not capable of creating motion, under limiting condition, and then F cannot be equal to mu into R. Okay, if F can be equal to mu into R, then quickly I can solve here the frictional force as equal to 30 Newton, here also 30 Newton, here also 30 Newton. But what about these conditions? Then I may say, if it is a static condition, I can use the analytical condition for statics for finding out what is the unknown force in the horizontal direction. If I want to solve unknown force in the vertical direction, I apply sigma Fy equal to 0. If I want to solve unknown force in the horizontal direction, in static condition, I apply sigma Fx equal to 0. And if I apply sigma Fx equal to 0, when the force on the right is 0, force on the left will be 0. When the force will be 5 there, this also will be 5. That is 10, this also 10. It means that this force grows hand in hand to the applied force. Frictional force and applied force grow hand in hand, but till a limit. And limit is limiting condition, where the formula is getting applicable, but afterwards no growth in the frictional force. Afterwards the applied force can grow, frictional force remains stagnant. And then this difference, 40 minus 30, 50 minus 30, that creates acceleration. Now the Newton's law comes into picture at that situation. That creates acceleration. So right now what we are learning is that this particular expression, though very simple, though very innocent, is having an unwritten condition, is not applicable universally. Is applicable only for the limiting conditions, beyond limiting conditions, not for the under limiting conditions. At the under limiting condition, the situation is still not grown to the particular required value, still underdeveloped. So that time our frictional force will be also underdeveloped, small one. Though the formula says that F can be up to mu into R, that is 30 newtons, here it will be lesser, afterwards 30 newtons. So this was something perhaps which was not much thought about seriously when we were solving the questions regarding the frictional force. And now sometimes they are not be solved correctly. So we have got to understand whether the given problem belongs to this condition or this condition or this condition. Now let us see what problems we have solved earlier. I think majority problems what we have solved earlier, they were belonging to this situation. There was some text available, there was some narration available, which was telling that motion is just commencing, just commencing. So it was definitely limiting condition. Or we are given sufficient data that the motion is now available with some change in velocity, acceleration, retardation, this and that. So it was again this particular. But we are rarely given a data which was indicating that the situation belongs to this part, under limiting part. Perhaps at academics we have not come across this particular situation. But it can very well happen that at our interviews or at our practical situations, professional situations, we will be meeting these conditions. And then we are going to take the thing with seriously, give a decision whether we can apply the formula or not a formula, and accordingly do that. For example, there can be a question at the interview that there is a rough inclined plane, there is a box kept on the rough inclined plane, even value of mu is also available to us, known to us, and not a simple question, what is the frictional force under the box? Now even after I draw the free body diagram, a big question comes to my mind that this situation is to this category or this category or this category. That I will decide myself. And then only I will be able to solve the answer for the frictional force. So some judgment will be recorded then we are going to check up the particular confirming answers and then the answer will be coming out. Anyway, this is the reality. This cannot be avoided. This is to be taken for granted, reality. And then we are going to take the right step for solving this simple looking question. Simple, innocent looking question, simple, innocent looking formula, but still some reach is there and that we must be understanding. When such thing is told to our students at CAD/CAM group, they are having an expression every time. They say, oh really? We are not knowing this. Thank you.